All right, shalom, peace, Israel. It's Brother Zaquan from Props in Babylon, camp here in Tampa, Florida. I'd like to give our glory, honor, our praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. I'd like to give double honor to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who teach real well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. All right. Today's little topic is going to be on Ecclesiasticus chapter 22. As you see here, verses 11 through 13, Salakia. And we're just going into it. Ecclesiasticus 22 and 11, it says, weep for the dead. Weep goes into crying. It says, weep for the dead, for he have lost the light. All right. That man lost his light. He lost a life. He's gone. It says, and weep for the fool, for he wanted understanding. It says, make little weeping for the dead, for he is at rest. Right? So make little weeping for the dead because they're at rest. But the life of the fool is worse than death. The life of the fool is worse than death. Oof, sheesh. Verse 12 goes into, says, 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead. 7 days don't mean literally 7 days. It's just going to, a completion amount of time, a certain time period. It says, well, for a fool and ungodly man, all the days of his life. Right? And when somebody dies, as it says, let me bring it back. It says, naturally, even in life, somebody dies, they say don't cry for them, because they're at rest, they're at peace, and a wise man will understand that, okay, somebody's not in the chains of darkness no more. They're not in this flesh and these ligaments, so they're not in the hell no more, But other people would be crying, like, oh my gosh, this man is dead. They'll mark the day the person died. They'll celebrate it every year on that day. Like, yo, I miss you, and it's going to go into that. But we shouldn't celebrate the dead. Like you shouldn't, if somebody dies on this side, you shouldn't be crying your whole life, It's a certain time period you grieve and you keep going. All right, that person walked their walk. They fought their fight. You got to keep going. It says 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead. A complete amount of days do men mourn for somebody who is dead. Before a fool and ungodly man all the days of his life. All right, so for fools and ungodly people, like ungodly men, if somebody dies, you're going to mourn for your whole life. You're going to, like I said, you're going to always want to remember that person. You're going to throw a party every day on that person's death date. You're going to, Jake do outlandish stuff, And it's scriptures plainly tell you how the Lord feels about that, and how you should go about certain things like that. But verse 13 says, talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. All right, can two walk together lest they be agreed? If somebody's not agreeing on the same things you're agreeing on obviously you can clearly see that this man has no intellect, or this man has no form of understanding. Why speak with him? Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that have no understanding. And it goes into saying, beware of him, lest thou have trouble. All right, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. All right, beware of him. All right, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Like scriptures, like it says, beware of him. Stay away from that man. Lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. All right, if you can avoid it, avoid it. It says, talk not much to the fool. If you can avoid something, brothers, avoid it. Especially like now in day and age, like I said, when somebody die, everybody wants to give them reverence for the rest of their life to that person die. Like, oh, I'm gonna live through, my brother gonna live through me, or feel lucky. The sayings that they have, but my brother gonna live through me, or long live this person, or however Jake like to do it nowadays. But that's a reoccurring thing. It says, so I can bring it back. It says, depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. All right, because like if you're, like I said, can two walk together lest they be agreed? Roughly paraphrasing, but if somebody's not on the same page as you, or you feel like, how I say, you might understand a certain level of knowledge, and that person might not be there, and they might not want to be there. They're okay with being a fool. If you stay away from that person, you're not falling into their snares, their nets, and their traps. You're never gonna be disquieted with madness. Like you're never gonna be tormented. You're gonna have peace. You're gonna find rest. You're gonna be fine. That's why we must come back to the scripts. The scripts are the comforter. if you're ever having problems, brothers, you know, demons are getting on you, you got to come back to the scripts. As I speak for other brothers, I speak for myself, you know, or else I wouldn't be here, you know. But you got to come back to the scripts, you know. And literally, the scriptures are they're the path, you know, to help you walk in life. These scriptures are the path to help you walk every step, every day in life, you know. So, brothers, you got to keep pushing. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give our glory and our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I give double honor to others, Apostle Great Millstone, teach real well. Till next time, I do say Shalom. Bye-bye.